All right, let's get looking at your critique here for your first two projects. Let's see here. All right, Brandy, let's see what your sets say. Okay, so looking at the second photo assignment, motion, shutter speed, all that jazz. This image has, looks like a little bit of slow shutter speed. The blur down here. There's a nice, movement of the diagonal of the neck of the guitar. And that's a pretty nice photograph. This one is also kind of, I think, interesting, engaging. I like that I get a little bit of the sense of the words and what this place is, and then all this nice horizontal moving of light. I think it works out pretty well. I might like maybe just a little bit something or more staticness, but what actually offers a sense of staticness is the sky a little bit. I'm wondering if this little dot here is actually something on your sensor or on the lens or something like that. I don't know, but I think that painting with light works out pretty well. I think it could have been pushed a little bit more, but not too bad. This photograph, I think, is compositionally very interesting. I like how the reflection here, it becomes just a little bit, odd feeling, just because of how the reflection and the out of focusness and the blurriness of this line. And I actually really like that. It's kind of a little bit ambiguous spatially. So my question with the composition is this information on the right third necessary? If we cropped this down, I hate tracking pads. I'm horrible with them. If we crop this out, I don't think we lose anything, and I think it might help put the focus a little bit more on what we want to see. So if I was to crop it right there, I think it makes a slightly stronger photograph. I actually like the image. Fairly simple. The negative space, like this isn't adding anything, and actually cropping this will help get rid of that, but not completely. I might even crop it down to like doink and over, just to get rid of some of that information, because it doesn't add anything to it. So, but I like that one pretty much. This one, I'm assuming, is panning of the figure here. I think I would prefer to be even a slower shutter speed. That might not be possible on a sunny day, as this appears to be. So maybe that wasn't even possible, but it could add like a little bit more blurriness, would put even more focus on you. I like the compositional structure of this image. I like this figure way over on the left, and I like all the shadow and highlight and information up here. I think it's actually composed very well. Interesting photograph. Could push some of the technical elements a little bit. Like I think this is blown out. Just back off on the contrast a little bit, and it would help it technically, as well as if we could get her just a little bit sharper. But overall, it's good. All right, this is a little zoomed out. There's that again. Here's the color version. I actually prefer the black and white version of this because it simplifies the background a little bit more. Here I'm wishing that the panning was again a little slower and that stuff back there was a little bit blurrier or something like that. With black and white, it seemed fine. I don't know if I'm contradicting myself, but that's okay. This image I like better in black and white, probably more due to the fact that the contrast was better, that the density, it's just a little bit of a dark image as it is here, so it needs some lightening up, and maybe you didn't play with that in GIMP or Photoshop as you did with the black and white. This is actually a pretty cool image. I like this one actually a lot. I love that we get this sharpness like right here. We get all this motion and movement here, and this figure is really moving, landscape's moving, and it seems, I really like it. I think it might be just a little too contrasty. And we back off on that contrast just a little bit, but no, I don't know. It's a very nice photograph. All right, so those are the first two. Let's see if we can navigate my way back here and get to the set for the first project. First photo assignment. Okay, so looking at these, I think I made some comments on these. This one, I wish this was a little bit more in focus. I mean, I'd almost rather swap this in focus than that out of focus. I like the information here. Or maybe it would be even, I don't know, cropping this, because, I mean, sometimes that can work, having this really extreme out of focus information in the foreground can actually be interesting, but it's just not working here for me. So, this photograph I like. I like the paintbrushes, and I like the hair and the earring, and there's just this nice rhythm to all these hanging objects. I would say a very successful photograph. Good use of a narrow depth of field. Good job. I like this one too. I like some of these water ones because it feels a little bit surrealistic, and looks like things are blurry or whatever. But it's to me the fun juxtaposition that these are actually objective images, just the water, but they look kind of blurry. But that is how we see them and experience them. So it looks like they're manipulated, but they're not, and I kind of enjoy that play of it. I like the fact that the pink or the red or whatever it is, and the green, well, the complementary color scheme becomes very interesting. This one too, I might actually crop this a little bit more, like just blow a hand straight across here. I think that actually makes it a little bit stronger of a photograph and a little more focus, because this just becomes, I think, too much information up top there. But it looks nice, and it makes me wish I was at the sea. Here's the other image. Yeah, I think this is a little bit stronger as it is like this than it was the other way. So, yeah. I think I actually like the other one a little bit better than this one. It's still kind of interesting though. I like the addition of the rock, but I think the other composition was just a little bit stronger. And it makes me wish that I lived somewhere with near big bodies of water like I used to. Okay. All right. So again, this is I always love photographing water. The qualities in this image seems to have that, where it's transparent, it's reflective, it's an object itself. It has so many layers to it, quote unquote layers to it. And I think this image, and I like the composition. You know, this and this and this and this. It's broken up very well. I think this is very similar to the previous one we looked at. Okay, all right. Looks good, Brandy. Keep shooting. Looking forward to seeing more work. And we'll move on and we'll do another critique here. So. All right, Lindsay, find your second set of photographs. Yes, the cucumber photographs. I think they're interesting. Okay, so this image has all this negative space at the bottom. I am not sure how I feel about that. I don't find it distracting, but I keep wanting to crop it and see, but I kind of like it. I don't know. You could maybe take a little bit of off. I wouldn't crop too much. I might actually. I'm kind of curious to see if I crop some off the top, if that's actually better. Like if we crop it, I like it better if I crop it right here, just above this handle, straight across there. It puts this emphasis: table, hand, working hand, this, and then this, and then this. There becomes a much smoother flow. We get rid of some of the distracting stuff up here. Maybe we can crop it right there, something like that. I think if we do that, it gets to be a little bit of a stronger image. Oh, here's nice. I like this panning image. I like the elongated format. I like the figures way pushed over on the left, heading to the right. I like the dog is really sharp, and this is somewhat sharp, and then this is really blurry. I think that's nice panning photograph. Painting with light, I really would like more than this. It just seems to be some streaks across the sky. There's no dialogue between, to me what makes painting with light is the dialogue between the objective, the stuff we see, and then this fanciful sort of light with the potential to paint it or light it in weird ways. This just becomes a couple light things streaking across. We have more. I like this one, black and white or color. Both work. And I'm trying to figure out if I missed a photograph there. Oh yeah, this one in grayscale. Probably does simplify things a little bit. So yeah, I would still crop this one in black and white, just like I talked about in color. This is kind of interesting, and I like the activity. I wish it was a little bit lighter. There's a little, it's really kind of dark image, so if we could lighten that up, I think it would help. But I like kind of what's going on here. I'm not even too bothered by the fact that this isn't at 90 degrees like it should be, because there's so much disorienting information otherwise that I'm less concerned with that. And I like the sharpness here and the blurriness here, and the environment is fairly sharp. But yeah, the exposure does need to be a bit more light hitting the sensor, so images overall lighter would be effective. And I'm not sure. I seem to get a little bit more information in black and white, like I didn't notice this stuff before. But I don't know that it's any more successful in black and white. So, okay. All right, let's go see if we'll find your first project, Lindsay. Project 1. Okay, I like this image. To me, it seems like something's off with the white balance. It could be something to check. Looks like it's set for daylight, but you're shooting under tungsten lights or something like that. Maybe that's true, maybe not. Maybe it's just long exposure that's throwing things off. Sometimes with longer exposures, colors tend to shift in unpredictable ways. That can be true. Though I overall like the structure and the composition. I like the hands here, and I get this face. I like the ghostiness of it. I didn't even see the face. Initially, I just saw these hands, but now we see the chair. And this object here doesn't detract. This one actually, if we took it in grayscale, might make it a little bit better. I love the composition here. Again, it seems like something is off with the white balance, though. And so check that again. But I love the composition, I love the sharpness here, I love the zoomed in, I like the relationship between the eye and the ear, little bits of hair, texture of the skin, this nice little green, very nice composition. Intriguing. I like this too. Again, I think it might just be a little bit overexposed on this one, technically. If we could back off on that exposure just a little bit, I love the texture that's created all around here, and then this camera and the figure and the hands and texture over all of that stuff, I think is really visually engaging. I just think that it's a little overexposed. This is, I think, a pretty nice little image too, compositionally. Again, white balance seems a little warm, so check the white balance on there. But it's a good composition. I like it's cropped in. It's fairly, abstract. So I think it challenges me. I find it engaging with flowers and legs. And so. Okay, all right. Good job, Lindsay. And look forward to see what you have for the next projects.